Welcome to Bad Gear, the show about the world's most hated audio tools. After last week's episode about Roland's 2000 plus parameters behemoth from the 80s, the D-10, I was looking forward to a piece of gear without a labyrinth of sub-menus. In my search for simplicity, I stumbled upon an obscure and not so little drum machine from the same time, the Yamaha DD-10. This 1988 digital prosumer percussion instrument is one of the first drum machines of Yamaha's DD range. I didn't find an earlier model with DD in the name, and I couldn't confirm it as the progenitor of this product line either. Leave a comment if you know more about the mysterious history of these instruments which, fun fact, are still sold in a modernized form today. Drum kits are loud and bulky, and it can be assumed that many parents were relieved when they found out that they could dodge the bullet of having one of them in their home by getting their kids a device like the DD-10. I don't wanna know how many dreams of unbridled rock and roll lifestyle were crushed by these oversized stocking fillers. Nevertheless, many of us find ourselves in a quite similar situation in these strange days, but this time it's usually the kids complaining. At the first glance, the DD-10 is ticking all the boxes. Large drum pads that trigger some of the crunchiest lo-fi samples I've ever heard. Pedals for kick and hi-hats. A large variety of preset rhythms. A roll function I didn't find a real use for. And built-in speakers with a 1.3 watts power amp, loud enough for most acoustic ensembles. Speaking of samples, Yamaha did not only include a standard drum kit, but you can find a percussion bank and a bank with electronic sound as well, although some of the drum hits are only a pitched down version of the regular samples with no anti-aliasing or interpolation. You can create a custom bank and there's a tap tempo button. Nice. While the converters are based on the same chip used in the Yamaha TX81Z, which is capable of higher bit rates, the samples of the DD-10 are, according to various sources on the internet, 8-bit, but they feel like 4. Two features make it stand out of the crowd of other toy-like instruments of that era and make it usable in modern music production. The MIDI in and the very basic but functional sequencer we will take a closer look at in a minute. I was surprised to find out that the unit can be synced to MIDI clock. A shoulder strap turns the drum bank into a, how should we call it, B-tar, and the aforementioned buttons offer 2 levels of velocity, one more than the Digitakt. DD-10s in good condition can be found on the used market for 30 to 50 units of unified world currency, and they are loved by circuit benders of all nations. The DD-10 might be a bit dated, but why are there so many people who want to Pete Townsend's the digital drum bank, like anyone still cared about instrument destruction? You have already heard the DD-10 in our little intro tune. Maybe a bit too crunchy for this application, and a real crash cymbal would have helped. Let's test drive the internal sequencer in this drum machine only jam. You will most probably not sell your Circlone after acquiring a DD-10, but it's okay as a quick and dirty notebook for musical ideas. The machine will forget your precious patterns after you turn it off though. Strangely, the DD-10 is the first instrument I ran into clearly audible hum issues with when using my LED softboxes next to it. Keep that in mind if you're planning to use it live. I wanna know how it fares as a drum module in a setup with some contemporary gear sequenced by a Digitakt. was better than expected. Playing it via MIDI worked like a charm, and the lo-fi drum samples are a nice counterpoint to the more upfront sounds of the other two instruments. I haven't found any musicians who willingly confessed to using the DD-10 on an actual record, but the super dry drums let me ask myself if it can be used for some serious breakbeats in this much too fast IDM post-jungle drill and bass exercise. Verdict: the Yamaha DD-10 digital drum bank doesn't have the most versatile selection of samples. The feature set is limited and it's not exactly pretty. The hard plastic drum pads might be an acquired taste, and the pedals are not up to Tama Iron Cobra specs, but I would still recommend it as a substitute drug for those of you who are currently cut off from their rehearsal rooms and don't want to wake the baby. Grown-up people playing those toy-like digital percussion instruments tend to look a bit stupid, but in this case you can at least say it's vintage. Overall build quality is great and it stayed cool even under 200 BPM rapid MIDI note fire, but I had to remind it of the MIDI channel from time to time. Given the noisy audio output and hum issues, electronic music producers who want to have those super crunchy lo-fi sounds in their music will probably prefer a well-made sample pack of the 26 drum tones like it can be found on Bedroom Producer's blog, but I would say it's the ideal electronic percussion instrument for those indie bands who shout "Hey!" instead of writing proper lyrics for the chorus of a song. Thanks for watching and see you next time! Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment what other kind of gear you would like to see and hear on the show.